Welcome back to Digi Bros, everybody.
Welcome back to Digi Bros. We're in a fucking crazy zombie land. Whoa! That zombie, his organs just exploded out.
And all these zombies are attacking it. You don't need to go down there. I don't see any items.
But it's spooky.
Fuck that spot. Go over there.
But I want to go to the
the
spooky place.
Where does this
God damn it.
I think there is an area you can drop down. There you go. This is where the
Oh,
items
this
are.
is, yeah, that one. Okay.
There's like 4 of those exploding chest guys, and they'll keep spawning. So, it's best to just grab it and fucking run. Or do this thing that you're planning. That guy is, that guy was having a good time there. Why would you throw it so close to where you're going?
I don't know.
Divert the enemies away.
Whoa! Get the fuck out of there. Oh, what's up here?
Whoa,
cool.
I don't remember this little spot
Me either.
here. Huh.
Slick.
Oh,
yeah, it just leads
up.
you right back over to the exit.
Yeah, this is the where we needed to get
This place
to.
is cool shit. Look at that, man. That's a fucking
And we're gonna
vista.
climb that bitch from the outside.
Uh-huh.
That's what's so fucking rad about
Now
it.
we got fucking leech monsters.
This idea was basically used for the Canehurst Castle in Bloodborne, where you like kind of scaled the castle. But I think the problem with Canehurst is that the level is a little too short. You know, like
Yeah,
you kind of go
Still
through it
fucking
pretty
cool,
quick.
though.
This level is like the fully evolved
It's
version
definitely,
of that
yeah,
idea.
it's very long.
Yeah. It's not as long as it first seems once you just know your way and you just run through it.
Yeah.
But there's so many fucking enemies that you really have to play this place carefully.
It's so cool. You really just explore this whole castle.
Yeah. And everything loops back into each other. It's like the perfect Souls level. It's everything that's great about a Souls level.
And it's awesome that it's not just like the first level, you know?
Right.
Like fucking Dark Souls 2, the only well-structured level is the first one. And then you get nothing. But yeah.
So yeah.
Fucking rad. Alright, let's go get
Right,
the
we're in
shortcut.
episode 2. I had to like remember that for a second. Actually, I remembered also that the other day we drove to Cookout and wrote down topics for videos.
Yeah.
I completely
I
had
already know what
forgotten.
first I can transition into one of those.
Okay, go ahead.
So, back on the subject of Yokai Watch, hilariously today, Hope sends me videos of her Japanese friend who introduced her to Yokai Watch, bought her a Yokai Watch. And it's this
the watch
fucking
itself.
amazing Yokai Watch toy, and you put the little medallions in it, it says it does their stupid theme songs, and it's fucking hilarious. And, God, I kind of want one of those now. But,
Yeah, what I have written down for this subject is Yokai Kids.
Great description, Connor. We're definitely going to remember what that means.
I think I thought we were going to record, like, immediately when we got
Yeah.
home or something at the time.
Anyways, the subject of... How do I do... Yeah, because we were intending to record that night, so it's going to be harder to remember what we're talking about.
It was like
but...
we go out to eat, and then we came back and sat down for a while, and like...
And we started watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, we started watching
and then
something,
we decided not to...
And then... You hadn't realized that I was waiting on you or something, and then you
Yeah.
got tired and went to bed or something like that. So anyway, what's the subject here? What is this yokai topic?
It was something like after I started watching Yokai Watch, I had text Hope telling her like how amazing it is that she watches that and how cool that is to me.
Oh yeah.
That she's into that, and it was because it was something about like. This sucks. I can't
like
remember.
how you.
It was something about how
dating someone. Who watches
it's like
dumb shit
as a
you.
guy, you know, as you grow up, everyone makes you feel like you need to get over the things you're into, and like you know you're being childish. You can't be into this forever. And there's some sort of weird perception that girls aren't also like that and into those things, and that it's just guys, and that you need to get over it if you're ever gonna like find somebody. And then it's cool to become an adult and just realize that everyone's like that.
I've heard
and
that.
It doesn't matter.
That's one of the things that you know, some people have complained about with like the presentation of how in every like movie where there's like a man-child character, it's always the girlfriend who's trying to make him change.
Exactly,
You know,
and it doesn't really make sense because it's like, because then it makes you feel like all women are the same and aren't into nerdy shit, you know.
Right.
Which, I mean, obviously, fucking now, being an adult, you know it's not true. And you find that out pretty fast, but, like, it's definitely a problem for people growing up. And for girls, they feel like they can't be a nerd, you know?
Right. Anyway, what's the
That
fucking
was.
point you're getting?
I mean, that was it.
No, we had much longer
I
discussion
don't
about this in
remember
the car.
having a point to get to. It's been a week.
It's not been a week. It's been like 2 days since we talked about this in the car.
Has it?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 days since we went to Cookout and talked about this.
But that was the same night as the first playthrough,
No,
man.
it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
It was not. Not when we went to Cookout.
Yeah, it was
Talked
because
about
it was after we finished the playthrough because I still wanted to keep talking about Yokai Watch, and that was the last thing we talked about.
No.
No, dude, it was that night. I swear to fucking God, dude.
No way. No way in hell. That was the case.
Anyways, I mean, I guess I figured you'd have something to say about that.
Yeah, well, what I'd been talking about when we discussed this in the car was because I was bringing up how it was cool with my ex-girlfriend. She was into like nerdy shit, obviously.
Yeah.
And you know, we kind of like because we met over mutual interest in My Little Pony and stuff. But like, it was funny because I was saying that like the only problem is that she would never get into stuff I liked.
Yeah.
You know, like she was into like nerdy stuff, and if she was into something, I would immediately get into it because I thought it's so exciting to have someone else you could talk to about that stuff. You know, like when Pokemon X and Y came out, the reason I got like so into it was because I knew she was into it. So it was like, I can't tell if you're like following what I'm saying.
I'm following what you're
Okay.
saying. I'm saying, yeah.
You're saying in this weird low voice that's like.
Look, 'cause I'm also trying not to get fucking ate by leeches.
Right. There's a certain way you have of saying that usually means I don't actually get it. And it is often the case.
Well, you already, you're refreshing me on what you've already told me, so.
Right.
I'm
also trying to I need the help so that I can remember what I'm talking about. So I need to know that like I'm saying things that make sense.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, like Pokemon came out and it was like it's been a long time since I got really into a Pokemon game, and I didn't even own a 3DS. I wasn't that interested in getting one, but because like you were into it and she was into it, I was like, cool, everyone's gonna be into Pokemon, so I can go all out on this thing, you know, like we could be into it together, and it could be a part of our relationship that we both play Pokemon, you know, and that was the case. You know, we got to a point where we were trading each other Pokemon and shit so we could complete our Pokedex and stuff like that. So, you know, it was cool to be able to take something that's like that's a hobby that means something to me, and then also incorporate it into my relationship. You know? Yeah. It was just sad because she would never get into something just because I liked it. You know? Yeah. It was always me who was the one going, you're getting into Pokemon? I'm gonna jump in on that. You know.
Whereas balance, man. You gotta keep it even.
It seems like you and Hope often introduce each other to like new fun things. And why are you going over here?
I was gonna go back to the bonfire because I wanted to go level up.
You were much closer to it when you were at the bottom of that ladder.
Was I? I thought you couldn't get back up there.
No, there's a window you can jump.
Oh yeah, you can jump through the. Yeah.
Now you're fucking. Well, okay, whatever.
Well, I already killed all the dudes over here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Anyways, share interests.
I think you just passed it. It was that wall.
Wait, I want to go back up here now.
Oh.
I forgot to get this thing. Doodly-doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, it's neat. You guys are into Yokai Watch, and I think you were saying specifically because it's like a kid's game and something that you couldn't see most people getting into.
Yeah.
And so it's like the fact that both you and Hope got into it is like kind of whoa, you know, like how are we two people who are both into this?
Well, because we have the same taste, and I just trust her taste, right. And I was like, it's probably really good, so I watched it, and it's good, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
fun thing.
All right, let's look at the other shit I wrote down.
What'd you write down?
Clearly, don't have any more.
Yeah, I didn't. I felt like I had more to say before.
The next thing I have written down is normies.
Normies. Oh, yeah, because I was listening to the Normies podcast.
Yes, you listened to the Procrastinators podcast episode about normies, in which we were debating who was the biggest, or the least normie rather, of all of us. We concluded that Jesse, Endless Jess, is probably the least normie.
Yeah.
Lives in a mountain of trash. Basement regularly floods, and he turns it into videos.
Yes.
Has weird normie or anti-normie moments in public. The newest PCP about influences, he tells a random story at the very end of the episode about this experience he had where he was out getting crepes with two of his friends.
Crepes.
It was two female friends, and he's in the line, and he realizes he doesn't have any money, so he doesn't need to buy a crepe. And he goes over to sit down at a table. Like, he sees his friends, he sits down at the table, and he says, "Nice crepes," and then he realizes that it's not his friends.
What?
And he has just sat at some table with two women and just complimented on their crepes. They're both looking at him like a psychopath. And
But his friends were there.
Yeah, his friends were still in line. He just hadn't realized.
What the
He
fuck?
thought they had sat down with their crepes.
How did he not recognize it wasn't them?
So this was his latest, oh god, I'm a fucking psychopath moment that he's had.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we were debating our relative norminess. I'm the second least normie out of the group. We concluded. Why did we bring this up in the car?
I don't remember.
Were you trying to debate your norminess against mine?
No, I don't think that was what it was even about. I don't think it was about comparing our norminess.
Well, because I also have written
else.
down my life versus yours as the third topic.
Oh wait! Oh fuck! That's right. It was because I wanted to say something about how I was thinking about how because this is such an intelligible conversation we're having here. It makes lots of sense. But it was about because I've been through college now. And I was thinking about the past 4 years that I was in college. You have not been in college. Right. You've been sitting here doing YouTube.
Yes.
And I was thinking about all the experiences I've had, the people I've met, the places I've been, the constant traveling and doing different things. And then I realized that you have been here at home on a computer the entire time. And it tripped me out because it's like, when I'm at home all the time, it feels like time just moves really fast.
Right.
And like I'm trapped in this place and not much is happening. And I cannot comprehend doing that for that long straight. Like, even the last year I've been sitting around since I graduated doing pretty much nothing, and it feels like a fucking blur. And so I feel like the last years of your life since you quit college have got to be a giant blur.
The thing is,
Victor,
it's
trippy.
That the college is also part of the blur,
yes.
as is all of high school. My life has just been a blur.
Yeah.
It's all been like this. It's always been this wishy-washy, unsure, where am I? Oh my god, a week passed already.
It's just insane. It really reminds me of Synecdoche, New York in a bad way. When I think about it, where it's just like the time just melds together and all of a sudden you're 4 years older and it's like, whoa.
Well, I mean, for me, it's easy for me to like say that like on a moment by moment basis, if I say, holy shit, it's been a week, or holy shit, it's been a month. But then when I actually think about what I've done in that time, I realize that it has definitely been that long.
Yes.
You know? Like, because I'll have these moments all the time that are really funny where I always feel like it's been forever since my last video.
Yeah.
Always. Like, no matter what, my video could have come out yesterday, and I'll feel like it's been forever since my last video, and like I need to do another one. And then when I actually look at the dates when each of my videos came out, it's like a shock to the system to realize that those were not that long ago.
Yeah.
You know? It'll be like for instance, like my Erased video, like the one I did with Mother's Basement. That was like, came out on like the 3rd, which so it's only like 3 weeks ago. But I feel like I've done a bunch of shit since then, you know, like there's like, it feels like it was fucking forever ago. You know, even like right now I feel like I haven't put out a video in forever.
How do I
and
get this dude
it's
down?
been less than a week.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, right now that's being added to by the fact that Devu is editing my videos. So the ones that are coming out are ones that I already finished, you know, writing and voiceovering like even longer before then. But like, yeah, it's an odd feeling because on the one hand, yes, the days go by in a blur, and you know, a day starts and it ends, and I have this like check I have to do a lot of the time where like I'm going to bed and I'm laying there and I think, what the fuck happened? Like today like, there's no way this much time passed, right?
Yeah.
Like, since I woke up. I'm pretty sure I woke up at, like, 4. How is it already 4 in the morning now? But then I'll like, try to remember what I did. And it's like, oh, yeah, you wrote 3 videos and recorded 10 Let's Plays. You know, like, you did do stuff today. It just was... Because it's like, we record this, and then I go back to sitting in the exact same spot where we record this to do the next thing, you know?
You blur between things.
Yeah. So, but like, for me, it's always like that, partly because there's no coherence in my, like, there's no consistency. There's nothing I do every day. And that's always been a problem for me as long as I've been alive, and it's not, it's like, I think for most people, when they get off of a schedule, then they have this sort of natural instinct to get back on it, and they try to get back on it.
But when you've
know?
never been on a schedule,
right,
you can't get on a schedule.
I have no understanding of what it feels like to be on a schedule, or like what is the benefit of being that way, because even when I was a little kid, I've always like had you know, like some mild form of insomnia. I've never been able to force myself to sleep. I've never been able to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Yeah.
You know, like my mom tells me when I was a baby, she could never get me to sleep. I'd always be up all night. I'd always be up at weird hours, you know. And I can remember like countless times in elementary and middle school, like just laying in bed feeling guilty about the fact that I couldn't get to sleep.
Exactly.
You know, just like
being
being
up all night, feeling bad that you can't sleep, and that keeps you up even worse.
Because you know that you're gonna be shit in school the next day because you're gonna be tired. And you know, and like, you could try going to bed earlier, but then it never really works. Like there's nothing that works, you know. And I can't ever keep a consistent schedule, because what'll happen is I'll just like one day wake up at a different time. And the funny thing is, right now I've had like one of the longest periods in my life of consistently waking up at the same time for the last like 3 weeks, almost a month. And it's the least time I want to wake up. Because no matter what, I keep waking up at 3 p.m. I don't know why. I can't stop it. And, like, I've tried really hard to, like, stay up for too long and then, you know, like, fall asleep at a different time. Like, haha, this time I passed out at this time. No matter what, my body keeps resetting itself to that same time. Yeah. Like, you know, I'll have like, nights where I go to bed at, let's say, like 1 a.m. and I wake up at, like 11, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm up, it's 11. And then I'll just pass out again and sleep till 3. I always end up waking up at 3. It's such a pain in the ass that I hate it, because it's a terrible time to wake up, you know? Yes. I do like if I want to be on a nighttime schedule, I usually wake up at 6. Because 6 o'clock means that, like, I've got just a couple hours to hang out with everybody else and, like, see what's going on. And then I get the whole night and morning to myself to work on shit, you know? And then I'll go to bed around, like, 11 a.m. And then if I wake up during the day, then that's when I get to, like, go out of the house and do stuff or hang out with other people, you know? So I might wake up at, like, 12 and then pass out at night. But waking up at 3 is, like, an awkward middle ground between those, where it's, like, you know, I don't quite have enough nighttime to get a lot done, and I have a little bit too much daytime to hang out with people, but I'm not waking up early enough to go out to lunch. Yeah. And the worst part is I'll wake up at 3, and typically when I wake up, I sit on the computer for about an hour, right? And I'm always hungry when I wake up. But so I'll sit on the computer for an hour, and then I'll be like, okay, now I'm really hungry, so I want to eat. But our family usually eats dinner around 6, right? And so I'm always like, well, I don't want to wait for dinner to eat because I'm hungry now. Yeah. But then if I eat like a large meal at 4, I won't be hungry for dinner. And if I'm not hungry for dinner, then that means that I'm probably going to eat just a little bit at dinner and then get hungry around midnight again and then go out, or not even midnight, probably like 10, and then go out again, you know, and eat more. So it means I'm eating out more. Like, I'm eating out twice a day instead of once a day. I'm eating out all the fucking time. And because I'm always tired at the times when mom wants to go grocery shopping, I never get to go along, so they never get me anything, you know? So I just end up more and more eating out and not eating at home as much. So, like, yeah, it's become a cost problem, a timing problem. It just generally is not a good time to wake up, but I can't break it. It's like a fucking weird, vicious cycle where I'm trapped in this 3 p.m. waking up, you know? I hate it. But I've never really had a natural schedule, and as a result, I can't keep track of the days, and I can't keep track of like when did I do this or that or everything that I do feels like it happened a million years ago. Like when we went to the Sakura Matsuri, like that already feels like it happened like, you know, like 3 weeks ago, and I know it wasn't that long ago. I know it was like we talked about it,
went to the
you know,
mountains or whatever.
Yeah.
Does feel like a while ago already.
So yeah, it is a blur.
Yeah, I feel like another thing I'm not sure about with you, because I'm sure you have your own, but for me, being able to tell how much time has passed has always relied on like big events and landmarks, which being in school there's a lot of, because there's semesters, so you have a structured
Axe guy from the left. Look out.
Time frames where it's like, okay, this was that semester, and that's how you keep track of time. And then it's like, since I've been out of school, there's nothing like that, so it's all just like, when is this happening? And I'm sure you have your own where it's like, oh, well, this video was the big thing for here, you know. Well, that's how you keep track of what time of year that was.
Like,
I don't know.
I've said this a lot of times, that when you're in school, you remember everything by what grade you were in. It's always like, I was in 6th grade, so this was happening, you know, like, and that's and for me it's a combination of that and houses, because we lived in so many houses, so I can usually remember either what grade I was in or what house we lived in, and that tells me what year it was. But we've lived in this house since 2009, so it's been 7 years, and that was exactly how long I've been out of school. And college wasn't that helpful to me because I changed majors so many times, and like, it's hard for me to remember like what years I was doing what semesters, you know. Like I keep getting confused when I try to like tell people, because there were semesters that I skipped, and there were ones where I had changed majors.
Even for me, the semester timeline becomes confusing sometimes with the first and second year, and then like I'm always like, I take that class when, but then like the last 2 years are pretty clear. Which, then, like, oh my god, thinking back on how much I've done is insane. Where it's like, things I did last year feel like they were fucking forever ago, but then it still feels like it's been a short amount of time in a weird way.
But yeah, like with the, like, with everything after that, it's like, because there was, after leaving college, there was like a year and a half where I just wasn't really doing anything. And you could not possibly ask me to tell you something that happened in that time, other than when Mom had cancer. You know? Which was like the fall after I left college. And then like the entire next year leading up to when I started working for Target and then started my YouTube channel, it's like I know vaguely what happened, but I can't tell you like what happened in what order. And then like there was the whole pony era of my videos, which is like a bit over a year, or like a year and a half. And like when I did this, because I recently did a commentary with the Devu.
Fuck these tables, man.
For those who don't know, if you pay $5 on my Patreon, you get access to these long-ass commentary videos.
Magic floating books, dude.
These long-ass commentary videos that me and Devu do together. And, like, we did, like, 3 videos that were on all of the Sword Art Online Sucks videos. And then we started working on, going through my pony career. And it was just like, we wanted to do it all in one video. And so I'm like trying to keep organized like when each thing was happening, and I just kept having trouble like, okay, I think this one was after that one, and then I did this, and then like I went back through after like we recorded it, and I found like a lot of the dates I quoted were like way off, you know, like just everything happened in a slightly different order from how I remember it, because it was all a blur. It was all just happening. There was like, I'm sure at the time I knew the order of it, but like now it's really difficult to look back on. And then with the fucking anime shit, I've been doing anime videos for almost 2 years now.
Holy shit, it does not feel that long.
Yeah, and it's just been like
it felt like ponies lasted forever, and now anime feels like it's blasted
because
by.
With ponies there was so much
going
new.
On.
So much of it was new, where I had like so many people I talked to, because I would accept every contact I got for a while. So like I met tons of people. I had so many like new realizations about what it means to be like a famous guy, new things I had to learn how to deal with. And with anime, there's been very little new shit. I don't talk to I don't make any new friends, you know, like the friends I have are the same people I've been talking to since the pony days, with few exceptions, you know. So like Yeah, it's much more of a blur. There's way less like landmarks and stuff, and it just feels like I've been doing one thing for 2 years. You know, I wouldn't say it feels like I'm doing anything significantly different other than like the stylistic changes that I've employed across the time. I guess if I had to break it into chunks, like late 2014 was like a period where I put out like a fuck ton of videos all at once, and there was like a very distinct style to them. And then like,
damn,
2015 was all like one consistent thing, you know, like the way my videos were pretty much up until the end of 2015 was pretty much the same. And then like this year it's like a new evolution, and it's been that way all year. So yeah, I guess that's how I'd break it down, if that's
breaking it down, dog.
That's it for this episode of Digi Bros.
Hey.